How do you learn terms? Actually, this is a wrong question. You don't need to learn to memorize terms. You need to love terms and understand them. This video is for anyone who deals with a huge amount complex of terms in any field and does not know how to handle it. Law, jurisprudence, history, neurobiology, medicine, computer science, et al. In this episode, I will not dive deep into the cognitive processes like memory or understanding. It's for another big episodes. Instead, we will look into the basics of logic. Welcome to Aristotle's world. Welcome to the world of Aristotle's formal logic. But you must understand at the very foundation, logic is based on terms and concepts. What you need to understand at first, how do concepts and terms are formed. Second, what they consist of. Third, the relationships between different concepts. And fourth, the laws of logic. This is the baseline. This is the foundation. You can start before and going deeper in the logic form. What are the benefits of knowing logic? First, it helps you easily understand and remember the terms. Second, logic allows spot you lies and recognize the propaganda instantly. It will be much harder to manipulate you. For example, in digital space today is actually no, logic will not reveal all secrets of humanity. However, it's a strong foundation for high quality independent life. Now let's talk about remembering terms with use logic. Let me tell you a short history in my life. Once my friend and I were discussing exam questions for a law class. I knew absolutely nothing about law. But somehow I managed to define unfamiliar words simply by using logical thinking. How does this mechanism actually work? Knowing just one term can give you opportunity to know from 10 to 100 terms in any fields, if you follow the right principles of learning, actually. I will explain you how this works in examples in this moment. 5 main principles. First principle. A good level of your native language. You need to understand how words are formed, prefixes, suffixes, and other affixes. Let's take the word socialization. If we get a prefix there, we get the word desocialization. This is a perfect example. You don't need to learn 2 different words. You just need to understand one word and the prefix do. You just need to know one term and understand what affixes do with this term. This doesn't work with every single term. The second principle, knowing the core terms in your field. For example, if you know the basic terms of general psychology, it will not be difficult for you to define the words in another fields, for example, sociology, pedagogy, law, jurisprudence, and for example, neurobiology. Third, visualization. The process of visualization is a key part of forming a new connection, neuroplasms in your central nervous system. But a little remark, it's difficult to visualize terms in technical disciplines, for example, maths, physics, chemistry, and another, but it's just different story. Let's look at the term socialization again. Imagine a situation in your head where an immigrant comes to a new country. For example, meets new friends on the street and they go to a bar to introduce him to the local culture. This is a visual image of the term. Fourth, understanding the basics of logic. A 2-hour lecture on YouTube is more enough for you. You will also need to study the chapter about definitions in formal logic in books, for example. Fifth principle, interesting in the terms you study. Interest is necessary for visualization. Visualization is necessary for understanding. Understanding is necessary for learning basic foundation. But what if you have to learn the terms from field that's completely boring to you? In this case, you must force yourself to find something interesting about it, interesting for you. Now let's open the classical textbook Logic by Georgy Chelpanov to see how it's working in practice. Chapter 6 on definition. What does it mean to define a word? It means to reveal the content of a concept and list its essential characteristics. For example, concept A contains characteristic A, B, C, D. Why is this important? There is a law of identity in logic. Any thought or concept must remain unchanged in its content during the process of reasoning. Therefore, when two people agree on definitions before a conversation, they can have a high quality discussion about the exact same thing in same context. Their formula. Definition equals genus plus specific difference, essential characteristics. 4 rules of definition and common mistakes. 1. A definition must be proportionate, commensurable. A horse is a domestic animal. This is incorrect because it's too broad, it lacks specific details. A horse is a domestic animal that has a brown tail. This is also incorrect because it's too narrow and specific. 2. A definition must not contain a tautology, circular definition. Light is that which has light. This is incorrect. You can define any word this way without explaining anything. 3. A definition must not be negative. A theta is a building not meant for living. This might be true, but a hospital or a factory, for example, is also not meant for living. A definition must state what a thing is, not what is not. 4. A definition must be clear. You can't use metaphors, allegories, or other literary devices in scientific definitions. For example, repetition is the mother of learning. This is a beautiful phrase, but as a logical definition, it's completely incorrect. This is just the genesis of our series on logic, formal logic. What you've seen today is the fractions of the protocols of what we are covering for you. In the description below you can find the scientific papers and foundational archives to start training to you. Support the link, like this video, subscribe to the laboratory and join our network across our other social platforms listed below.